Hello everyone! My apologies for taking so long to make tutorial videos. I've had a lot of stress in my personal life recently and have had to spend more time on Twitch and TikTok content to be able to pay the bills. Now that I've got more time to work, I got back in touch with the editor of my series in 2019 that I started, A Beginner's Guide to Mastering Clone Hero, the last episode of which was recorded and uploaded before I FC'd Solus 5, which I've vastly improved my understanding of the game since then, having FC'd Megalodon and such. So, here we are, with episode 2 years later. This time covering a topic that gets brought up a lot in conversations about Clone Hero grinds, that being, how do I get better at managing nerves? There are quite a few concepts to cover in this topic, as the concept of getting nervous in the middle of attempting to be accurate and fast disrupts many facets of Clone Hero play. For starters, let's define what I mean by run nerves. On an FC run of a chart that's in the upper 50% of your skill range, about halfway through, right before a hard part, or right after a hard part, the player experiencing nerves will get an increased heart rate, will try to focus very hard to compensate, and will forget built-up muscle memory, leading to a miss in an easy spot after all of the hard parts. Some players also say this feeling makes their fingers feel heavier, others say it makes their vision go blurry. Overall, it's just a sensation that makes following through with most of your accomplishments much harder. So how do we combat this? I have 3 methods of nerve management, so let's get into them. Option 1 is chart mastery through consistency. This was the strat that I used to get Megalodon's nerves under control, so it's pretty damn effective. The process is pretty simple. On any song that has multiple parts that you typically miss on, take note of each section that's hard. In practice mode, start at the beginning of the chart and play each of the hard parts in order. If you don't FC each section first try, restart the given section and FC it twice in a row before moving on to the next one. Follow this exercise as a warm-up before each of your grind sessions for any given song, and you'll feel the nerves have a far lower effect on your ability to get through the chart. This is due to your body having a firm understanding of the methods required in any given problem section, making the grind a process of doing one known action after another rather than trying to have perfect methods for an extended period of time without a mental map of the song. This process also gets you very familiar with sections that trip up your fighting technique. By mastering these sections before the full FC, your fundamentals as a player also get better, meaning this strat is very effective. If you saw G.H. Andrews' How to Use the Guitar Hero Level Chart to Improve video, you'll be pretty familiar with the concept of the Guitar Hero Levels document. If you haven't seen that video, it'll be linked in the description as it's a fantastic tool. I mentioned this as I have some suggestions for songs to try on this for a bunch of different skill levels. For level 20 players, try this method on Cliffs of Dover. For level 30 players, give it a try on Through the Fire and Flames. Level 40, Victory Solo X, and level 50, Undefined Paradox. All of the links to which will be in the description. Option 2 is psychological desensitation, or what I like to call the long haul. As the name implies, this method of nerve management improves itself over time. The more that you force yourself to go headstrong into a hard FC grind and experience how the nerves feel under the FC run conditions, your body eventually adjusts to being able to maintain some level of accuracy and speed while nervous. This is generally the method most Clone Hero players use to get good at grinding, as brute force and grind mentality really do pay off when focused on. This method has been used to great success by players like Carney Jared, proving that with enough determination and hard-headedness, any FC is possible. The biggest downside to this method is that the actual feeling of nervousness is extremely uncomfortable and mentally taxing, so I do not recommend doing this if you're prone to stress or are experiencing depression, as it may make you not like playing Clone Hero after a while. Asai experienced this firsthand during the original Solus 4 grind as he pushed himself very hard, got very good progress, yet suffered the mental consequence of overstimulation. On topic of the Guitar Hero levels chart, take whatever level you're on and attempt to grind whatever song is listed 10 to 20 levels above your peak ability. If the chart you chose doesn't make sense to you and you can't understand how to play, try going easier. The point to this is to find charts that you are capable of getting 85 to 90% on a sight read. Try FCing as far as you can into these songs over and over. Keep pushing your personal best up and take sections into practice mode if necessary. After some time, this should make grinds a much less mentally taxing experience. Option 3 is my personal favorite. It's emotional manipulation, turning nerves into frustration and using the adrenaline boost to push through previous nerve barriers. This is what I used to FC Triathlon in Solus 5 the first time around, and it's typically best reserved for grinds that you spend the most time on in your Clone Hero career. The longer you spend on a grind, the more the slower parts and easily chokeable parts become a frustration. As soon as you start to experience nervousness on an FC run of this caliber, try taking half of your focus away during a part that you understand, and remember all of the bullshit misses that you went through to get to this point. If you've done it right, the annoyance and frustration will overpower the nervousness and you'll end off the run in an adrenaline boost. It's hard to make a call whether or not players have done this before, but a very obvious example is my triathlon FC. As after that Amaranthine no transition the first time I did this in a run, my response was for me to tell myself, "Fuck you." This probably confused the live viewers, but it did end up paying off very well as my focus didn't waver until the end of Amaranthine Z on my first run past J. This one can't really be put through use on the levels list, so just keep it in the back of your mind for whenever you spend a ton of time on a single chart. After getting used to at least one of these options, your overall grind skill will no doubtably go up. Put some of these into practice and tell me how it goes in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. That's all for this episode. I'll catch you next time. Have a day.